What up, everyone? It's your man Xman87 here, bringing you another Marvel Legends video. And what I have for you today is some behind the scenes of my ACBA photography for my Galactus review. And just want to, comment on some of the pics I took here and walk you through it and some of my thought process and tips and tricks that'll probably help you with your photography. So before we get into everything, if you could please leave a thumbs up, like rating on the video, it'll help show your support for my channel and I greatly appreciate it. Now with that said, let's talk about it. Alright, so this is something I felt like I haven't done in a long time, giving you some behind the scenes here. But this was a shot that I wanted to do with all the heralds in the pack together. So you see Silver Surfer, Morg, and Nova all standing together. I got a puck light right underneath Nova. It's a remote puck light, so I can turn it on, brighten it up when I need it. That effect you see with Morg is the Can of Beams effect, because he didn't come with any effects. Would have been really, really nice if he did. So have to utilize all the props I can. That poster board actually was printed from UPS. I had to get a certain size for it. I was going to use a digital backdrop, but this guy's way too big. Galactus is way too big, and you can see my camera standing on this shot right here on top of boxes. It's funny how I had to do that, but I really love how the shot came out, and really it came out beautifully. And I was worried that it would copy Sentry Productions, because I know he did a similar shot with Morg and Galactus on the background, but I wanted to focus on having the heralds here. I was trying to play around with some positioning, so I was trying to have Surfer in the middle and then Frankie Ray Nova next to him, but there was like no balance, and I like the balance here you see on the shot. So it's Silver Surfer and Frankie Ray Nova on the opposite ends, floating. Then you have Morg, who's grounded, and on the back you have Galactus that's standing tall, hovering over everyone. So you see the balance from left, up, down, and right. Balancing is so important, not just for photography, but I also utilize this same method. I implicate that with my display on my shelves. So big figures always tend to be on the back, and you want to just level it with the smaller figures and position it how you want. But I think if Sentry Productions see this, I don't think he'll think that I'm biting off of him. That's not the intention whatsoever. It's a completely different shot, but that guy does inspire me, though. I love his photography. I love his work, but this is something I had in mind, and I just wanted that balance. Man, I love that Can of Beams effect so much. It looks so good, that Kirby Crackle effect. I really hope to see more of that in the Legends line. I don't even think we got a Kirby Crackle effect. Maybe with the Ultron from the Ursa Major Build-A-Figure wave, I think. But it didn't have that kind of black matter kind of specks in there, if you know what I mean. I also really like the way the effects on the Cosmic Flight Stand for Surfer came out. Like, the highlights came out really nice. It captured real well on camera. Frankie Ray Nova's base is lit up here. I didn't have it lit up in the behind the scenes photo because, I'm trying to save batteries on that. But overall, I just love the fluidity to this shot. It's definitely one of my favorite shots that I took of this set. Here was a shot that I wanted to do with Galactus summoning both Nova and Silver Surfer on his hands, and yeah, that was something. There was a bit of a challenge here, especially getting that portal. Look at my dog; she's just not having it because she loves to chill in my toy room. So seeing this big setup and she wasn't allowed in, she was just not having it. Such a cutie, but yeah, I used that Doctor Strange portal to create like a fire ring effect, have the LED like portable task lights underneath to light that up, light that effect up, and it was hard to balance that portal on his hand. I did not sticky tack it or anything. That was pure balance on Galactus's forearm. But I love the way that shot came out. I love her pose. You know, that was something I wanted to gracefully capture, and I think it came out super freaking sweet. Here is the final shot of it. It actually ended up being the thumbnail of my Galactus review. I wanted something to at least showcase two of the heralds. I wanted to get Morg in this shot, to get all three of them, but the way it was just looking, I just wasn't feeling it. I had one on, I took a pic of Morg, or tried to take a pic, excuse me, of Morg hanging on Galactus's right ear. It didn't look right. Tried to do it on the left ear. He was cut off. It didn't look right. I wanted Morg to somehow kind of come off as lunging, sort of like in the box. I just didn't have a flight stand large enough to try to get him into the middle of this shot, because then I would have probably completely changed the positioning of this shot. I would have had to shoot a lower camera angle. This is more straight, but yeah. It was challenging, but I was happy with how this came out. Man, look at that Nova. I think I'm going to have Nova displayed like that in my collection when I finally put up Galactus. So I'll definitely do a video of an on-the-shelf segment for Galactus so you guys can see him on my cosmic display shelf. I won't have that portal, though, with Nova, because that fell off a few times during shooting, so I definitely don't want that falling down on my figures and reworking the shelf multiple times. Nah, I'm not having that. But yeah, I'm just happy with how this shot came out, and I hope you guys like it too. You can see that Silver Surfer has two of the purple effects there. I did open my extra set. I do plan on hopefully getting someone to do a 3D printed Zyran the Tester head, so I can have a Celestial in the line for my extra Galactus. But it sucks because that should have been a tier over the Doom head. You know, we could come up with the Galan head. We could come up with so many things they could have included over that Doom head. But going back to the purple ring bubbly effects of Silver Surfer, originally it was shown, and I forgot to mention this in my review, or if I accidentally cut it out, I don't remember right now, but originally he was shown to come with two of these, and he only came packed in with one. So yeah, I'm using my extra accessory here so that, you know, he looks like he's, you know, he has more handle of the power cosmic on both hands. So I also used an orange light bulb in one of the lamps near Frankie Ray Nova to capture that fiery effect, so you could see some of that light partially bounce off of Galactus's face. So that's something to just heighten the drama a bit. This shot I absolutely adored. I'm shooting with a low ISO, as you can see. I keep it 115 to 120, f7.1. Definitely good for indoor shots, and you can see how I have it set up. So those are Lume Cube lights behind the SH Figure Arts Guardians of the Galaxy Star-Lord movie figure, so I have that being lit up. So it looks like he's running away from a Galactus blast. Another thing he should have came with was blast effects. This diorama you see here was actually made by my wife, so we wanted to capture the packaging on the back of the art where it was like that cosmic terrain that had the spikes. So this thing is huge, man. So I felt like that was captured beautifully. It goes great with the diorama backdrop, and you can see the purple puck light right there, lighting up that cosmic flight stand. But dear God, the coloring on this photo just came out immaculate. So eye-catching. One thing you don't want to do is when you're dealing with colored lights, you don't want to point it directly at the figure. What you want to do is point it at like the background, or, you know, some like the poster board or the environment, something where the light can bounce off from the environment onto the figure, so you could get that nice shading and color environment, and that way, you know, the character can feel embodied in that environment and immersed in that environment, should I say. But wow, in this case, you know, shooting cosmic setting, one thing you want to do is, in a cosmic setting, it should always be dark, right? I mean, that's just how it always is. You don't want something where it's like super bright, you know, you don't want to deal with bright lights, and it's going to totally throw the environment off. It's not going to feel like he's in the cosmos, so you always want to keep a dark setting in the cosmos, and I feel like I captured that well. Lighting was something that, when I first started photography, that was always my biggest challenge, was my biggest weakness, and I had to turn that into my biggest strength. So happy I got to turn that into one of my biggest strengths. And as you can see, look at Silver Surfer here. Look at how the purple is traveling. And for photography, for me, like, eye traveling is the most important thing, not just with how everything is positioned, but with lighting as well. And you can see how that purple travels. You can see how the explosion from the effects, the brightness is captured onto his leg, and you can see that some parts on his inner leg, on his upper torso. Man, I'm proud of this shot. I did an alternate shot with Galactus in focus, and I wasn't feeling it. I just felt like, you know, having the focus on Silver Surfer made you feel like you're actually in there, feeling the chase of him running from Galactus, or getting away from his blast effect. So one of my favorite shots. This is something I try to recreate from a photo I did a few years ago with the 19-inch Marvel Universe Galactus figure. So sometimes it's fun to go back and recreate some of your older shots in the vision that you had in mind, and I felt like this matched more of my vision that I wanted to capture at that time because of the sheer size of this Galactus. I mean, he's so much bigger, so it was definitely the perspective that I had in mind, and my God, it's a beautiful shot. And obviously, and I posted that pic from what I took a while back, so you can see what I'm referring to. And yeah, man, big difference, man. This Galactus is just on another level. It's God mode level. Alright, this is my Thor shot that I wanted to do that I did not show you guys this picture in the video. This is something I'm saving for my actual Thor review whenever I get to it. I definitely need to finish that controller wave, but I had him in a different pose. But this is something I saved specifically just for the Thor review. I think this is the only different shot that I took of it. But my God, it's something. I like how I use the electromagnetic effect from the Storm Collectibles line from the King of Fighters, that build effect, gravity smash effect. Perfect here for Thor. Looks like Galactus is like, you know, giving him the powers of being a herald, the power cosmic, but of course with Thor using his thunder and all his Thor glory. But yeah, this is the picture that made it into the review. As you can see, it looks so cool. I have him holding the Raven too, and then there's another one of the Ravens perched on the rock right there. And wow, man, it killed me because I did not want to take this effect off my Magneto, because I have this electromagnetic effect on my Magneto in my display, but had to get the picture done. I wanted to capture some cool electricity here. I feel like Galactus should have had like some big blast effect like this, you know, something of this size. I look at the Hero Clicks version that they did. He had a really, really cool effect. Something like that would have been cool, or, you know, some eye blast effects. I would have loved to have seen that. I think they were more focused on the figure tiers and stuff. But again, this is just me trying to find ways on how they could have replaced that damn Doom head. Again, that Doom head looks good, but there are so many things they could have done. Again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but there's so many other offerings they could have done. And as much as I respect what Jesse Falcon has brought to the line, for Marvel Legends over the years, this was just one of them where they just should have said, no, sorry, Jesse, we're not going to go with that idea. We're going to go with this or that instead. But yeah, just showing you another shot of the Thor pick here from my video. This is one where Galactus is in focus, and it just looks damn good. I love the way it came out. I really got to get to this Thor review whenever I ever review that controller wave. There just happens to be other things that I wanted to cover, other than those figures. So it's every time I want to do it, something comes along where I'm like, oh man, I want to do this instead. But I'm not one of those YouTubers who care about getting everything first and review everything first. I really don't care about that. At the end of the day, I'll probably give you better quality of a review than those that give you the first looks and stuff. So I'll get that wave done by the end of this month, because come December, I focus on my top 10 categories, and that is usually time consuming because it's a lot of thinking of where I want to place the figure and such. So I know you heard me mention HeroClix earlier, and yeah, this HeroClix Silver Surfer I got from the HeroClix Fantastic Four box set that came with Dr. Doom and the rest of the 4 figures. And actually, I'm a fan of HeroClix, man, and they scale so well with a figure like this. And look at that Silver Surfer. I love the pose there with that Kirby crackle effect. You might have seen Bug use HeroClix Silver Surfer. It was a different figure than this in one of his shots, and I just love how they scale with this Marvel Legends. And playing with a figure like this, playing with scaling and perspective is one of the things that I enjoy so much in photography. And as you can see, I used a 55mm lens here. As you can see, the f2 setting, I lowered the aperture to blur out Galactus in the background and focus on Silver Surfer. The 55mm lens is perfect to use for tiny figures like this, to capture those nice fine details on a scale such as this. I did an alternate shot with Galactus in focus, but it just didn't work because Silver Surfer was blurred out and it didn't look like Silver Surfer was in his hand at all. So here, I wanted to capture Silver Surfer launching off of Galactus's hand like that. Man, this is such a nice shot. Very happy with the way it came out, and the LED lights on Galactus just popped beautifully here. And here's another setup with the HeroClix Fantastic Four. Have everything on a coffee table. I had to remove my review station table that I normally review on. Like, I had to clear everything in the room to set this coffee table up. And I'm using the NECA rooftop diorama there, so you can see the little piece behind them is also from the NECA rooftop diorama from a billboard from the Cartoon Turtle set, I believe. But that's to cover the base, so it doesn't show up in the photography, the bases that they were set on. That landscape, the city landscape poster board was also printed from UPS there to capture the scale that he is as tall as the buildings. And as you can see, the HeroClix figures are lined up nicely. Man, just a beautifully captured shot. I'm proud of this one. I'm happy to hide those bases on their feet. I had to use sticky tack, as you can see, to make sure they stick. But wow, look at how beautifully detailed these little guys are painted. They do such a great job painting their figures. And look at that Sue Storm is nice. I like that force field hover effect there. Wish Marvel Legends would do something like that for Sue Storm. But yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite shots of him looking stoic and intimidating. Well, one thing I wanted to mention, and I forgot to mention this in my review, I got to realize this after actually. filming and reviewing and editing that review was his eyes are completely black, as you see here in this shot. When they're not lit up, it would have been nice if they at least painted the square section in his pupil. That way, you know, on display, his eyes are highlighted. It's not like he's going to stay lit all the time when you turn on the lights. And I also forgot to mention this in my review, but if you use like an infrared remote control, you can turn them on hands-free. But would have been nice, though, to have an alternate head, or not even alternate head. Maybe if that domino mask section that's, you know, part of his helmet, if that was like interchangeable and you could like put painted eyes, you know, like a section with the painted eyes on it, or different kind of powered up looking eyes, or just painted something that can look visible on the display, it would have been very nice, would have been appreciated a ton. And this is the last footage that we're going to go over. Sorry I didn't film every shot. Sometimes I get carried away or get locked in and zoned that I just move on to the next setting and totally forget to film a behind the scenes footage. But here I have the Marvel Legends 6-inch Fantastic Four figures going up against Galactus. This is the first time I'm using that the clear version of Invisible Woman in a shot. And as you can see, I have Reed Richards there using the Ultimate Nullifier to defeat Galactus, and Galactus is all like, "Oh no, the Ultimate Nullifier." You know, that's one of the weaknesses. Reed Richards and Black Panther put that together to help defeat the Galactus, and yeah, that Ultimate Nullifier that you see there, that was actually made by Dave Cardenas, who you might know makes the figures for Executive Replicas, like the Lady Death that you see there. Like, I got this custom from him a long time ago, and it fits perfectly for the stretchy arm Reed Richards hand. And yeah, man, it just came out really, really nice. That fire base looks beautiful on the Human Torch, and that was a tricky shot to put together. So as you can see, they're all there lined up. Really like the way the power core light on Galactus's chest bounces off Sue Storm's force field right there. Just looks really, really good. Here's the final shot. Took a lot of these shots, by the way. It was like so many takes on this one where he's out of focus, in focus. The Ultimate Nullifier being in focus. So it's not like I just take one shot and boom, that's it. No, I'm taking multiple shots because I'm always looking at what picture has the best lighting and such, which is why this process of photography is so tedious. But yeah, happy with how the end result came out here. Actually, no, I have one more footage to show you, and a moment of silence for Galactus when Beyonder slapped the shit out of him. Oh, man, so yeah, I had to recreate this scene right here, and man, this is pretty much me telling the Marvel Legends Hasbro team that we need a Beyonder figure. He's way, just long overdue, man. So definitely wanted to capture Doom walking away from a defeated Galactus, and I shot this one long ways to, you know, capture the entire scene, and I had to flip my diorama long ways too, and I was happy that it was, you know, it was big enough for him to fit. I didn't think I would pull this shot off, to be honest with you, man, but I was able to do it. You can see I shot 1.6 f8, kept it low ISO 100. Here's the final shot. You can see that I used some of the smoke effects from the Mortal Kombat Storm Collectibles smoke figure. And the one that I used for his power core in the chest was another Storm Collectibles figure. I forgot what effect. Probably came with one of the Kingdom Fighter figures that I just can't remember right now. I used the skeletal faceplate that represents the Galactus engine. I know it wasn't like that in the comics where he was knocked out in the scene, but this is just my vision of it, my version telling the story here. And And I needed a shot with that faceplate, so I'm like, you know what, this would be a good way to get a shot with that faceplate in, looking defeated. This is probably the only shot I took of Galactus that wasn't lit up, so that way it captures the look that he is defeated, you know? Doom looks so boss just walking away from him there. But yeah, man, this might be my favorite shot. I don't know. You guys let me know what was your favorite shot. Even if I didn't cover it here, if it was just one of the other shots that you saw in my video review. So I just love how he looks perfectly laid out here. And that's a wrap for my behind the scenes shots. Again, I haven't done that in such a long time, probably over a year. So maybe because when I did it, people lost interest. The views weren't there, and I felt like no one cared about the work I did behind the scenes. So I kind of stopped doing it. But I wanted to do it here. Did I do it for the Sentinel? I probably did it for the... Yes, I did do it for the Sentinel, but I never showed it, actually. I think I meant to do a behind the scenes for that. But yeah, no, I still have the B-roll footages on my phone, actually. So I'll probably show that off sometime later. Or if you guys want to see that. But that was a big setup. That was very challenging. I got to say, this one was way more challenging than the Sentinel, probably. Oh yeah, definitely big time. This was this was a lot harder to set up, man. I freaking broke my back here, and you guys know I have a bad back, injured back. So yeah, oh man, this didn't help, and I was just pissed off because I had to delete my original video. YouTube hit me with a copyright claim, which was... It was just bullshit because I had an account with the music that I chose for the montage segment of the video. That's what I got hit with. And why it was bullshit is because not only do I have an account with them, but that account gives me permission to use the license so I don't get hit with a copyright claim. I disputed the claim, and then it was denied. And then if I appealed it, he said it would take about a month, and I didn't have a month to just like let it sit in limbo and then, oh no, it's gonna go, you know, the money's gonna go towards the creator. Like, you know, it really sucks because I really busted my ass for this review, and I got many comments saying that this was the best Galactus review that was out there, and I appreciate that a lot, man. I don't forget that. But yeah, I was really pissed that I lost thousands of views and thousands of likes. So, you know, again, if you guys can, you know, share it or watch it again, like it again, that goes a long way. You know me, I never beg for, you know, likes in multiple times in a video. I never say multiple times in a video. I just tell you to like it, comment, share, and subscribe only once in a video. That's it. Not like one of these other YouTubers that tell you multiple times in a video to do that. That's just not me, because, you know, just say it once, that's fine, you know. Self-promotion is something you got to learn in life. You got to sell yourself in whatever kind of endeavor you're pursuing or whatever it is, you know. It's a great skill to develop. So yeah, now I got to try to pump out content to make up for the loss of those likes and views. And my next video will probably be setting up the Galactus on my display. There was a ton of things I cut off in the video due to time sakes, like this comparison here with Fing Fang Foom. Yeah, man, this is crazy, because Fing Fang Foom was one of their largest bath, if not the largest bath they made. He was like 16.5 inches or something like that, and it's crazy to see that one time this figure just felt so damn large, and now he just looks so tiny next to this Galactus. But, yeah, I just wanted to keep everything under 30 minutes. I didn't want to go past 30 minutes, so it took very long to film the review of this figure. I felt like a freaking chiropractor articulating this guy, and he's just clicking and snapping away. And I'll probably talk about the latest Avengers Puff Adder Build-A-Figure wave. Might do a coverage on that, too. I'm talking about that. I know you guys... love hearing me talk about that, which is kind of why I'm straying away from action figure reviews. I just feel like the views aren't there anymore. Well, when I talk about just upcoming figures and things like that. That's where like the views are. Maybe I'm gonna switch to just doing that and maybe live streams, because that's where it seems to be at right now. It just seems like nobody's watching my action figure reviews at all, and that's it's a lot of hard work, and it's just so time consuming that, you know, if I could do something that's just easier and less time consuming, and it's more convenient in my personal life too. Not saying I'm gonna stop action figure reviews entirely. I'm still gonna do some. I'm just probably gonna be a lot more picky with what I'm going to review. Anyways, this video has gone on for way longer than I expected. My God. So I hope you enjoyed the commentary. I hope it was informative. And as always, follow me on Instagram if you haven't already, at xmanny87. Hit the notification bell so you always know when my latest videos are up. Share and subscribe if you're new. See you on the next video. Peace.